I want to thank the team, Mr. Clark, Mr. Beach, Mr. Chevalier, and myself for the hard work that we put into it. It was a long fight, many years, many things came from it, but we are now here awaiting the release of Adidja Palmer.
What time is Kartel be free?
Yeah, people, here we go on this, so we have a video of VYBZ KARTEL lawyer. I speak about VYBZ KARTEL being freed, and I give you the current state of the situation. And then Issa Buchanan alone I speak, people. The other lawyer them we work with on the case, them also I give them 2 cents of the situation. Them I give thanks to the justice system because them say the justice system really come true upon the 1 year. And also Issa Buchanan I make we know say VYBZ KARTEL not free as yet, but the process of him getting freed I go on now as we speak. So before we go to the video, I just want the people them give you a like, share and subscribe. That are if you're not subscribers yet, when you check out the Issa Buchanan and say no.
Evidence that you cannot do anything without God. That's where I start. I'm going to use the word happy for the appellants. I'm going to let the Jamaican people know that although there's fixing for the justice system, the Constitution work, it has always been our belief. And I want to thank the team, Mr. Clark, Mr. Beach, Mr. Chevalier, and myself for the hard work that we put into it. It was a long fight, many years, many things came from it, but we are now here awaiting the release of Adidja Palmer.
What time is Kartel be free?
That has to happen
Today?
The process has started, and we would hope today because the Constitution said something about that.
No, the judge said that he's free.
The judge says he's free.
So the question now
yes.
Is that what time?
Authority must explain why he's a free man in custody. So they have to do what they'll have to do to release it, but he's free.
So what
the judge
process?
It's too early. It's too early.
It's too early for that, but we certainly hope that as we're saying this to you, that the process is being expedited, and we just await their release.
And it's important to know
since morning.
It is important to know one thing: these men have been in custody for more than 13 years. So essentially, we hope that they'll have the time to spend with their family, etc. At this time, having waited for almost 30 years through one court process, they're not hurrying to find another process. They're hurrying to spend time with their loved ones, with their family, and at this stage, that's all we can hope for. And must be at tonight.
This is their independence, emancipation, July 31st for them, and so it should be that. And so I am sure you've heard the posture of the court, that the wheel is in motion, and if I were you, I'd be heading over to another venue to see that.
Issa, what's your thought going into this hearing? What was your thought going into this hearing?
My thought, and I've done many interviews. I've done many interviews, and we've always said this. I'm going to sound like a broken record. God on time. We only do the work, while God, we are grounded in the faith, and that's what it is. God on time and time.
So you are confident of this outcome?
I'm confident. We were confident.
What was Kartel's word to you before you came here today, Mr. Buchanan? Just say that before you pass it on to Mr. Buchanan.
What was his?
Before you came here today.
Boy, I'm going to say.
No,
I'm going to say it. It's God on time, and they believe.
Always.
All of them.
Always.
All of them.
What has the process been like for the legal team going through all of this?
Boy, it has been very tiring. I don't think people understand the kind of human effort that it puts into this. There's sleepless nights. There's a whole lot that goes into preparation. You've heard that there were multiple volumes of documents that were served, and lots of work would have gone into preparing those documents for today. We made sure, certainly from our side, that we put everything that we needed to before the court for it to make mature considerations and to ensure that the verdict today was one of acquittal.
And the court must be, and bear in mind what Lexi just said, the court must be commended, because you have to bear in mind the court has to go through almost 10 volumes, and the court did it in record time. It's not typical, bear in mind the short resources that our judges have, that they can return judgments within a time that they like. And ultimately in this case, they work overtime. You heard the judges thanking specifically the judicial clerks for ensuring that they could meet the timeline that they gave to the public, and we're very grateful for that. But out of all of this, I don't think that if you ask any of the appellants, that they would say that they got justice. Because from day one, they professed their innocence. And at the end of the day, you have, after almost 13 years, we're just going home without the merits of the case actually being decided. So for the appellant, it is regrettable that this is how this matter has to end. And we hope that this will be a lesson for everybody who loves justice in Jamaica, because there are certain things that went wrong in this case, and that we hope that the persons who have the power to change things in this country will examine to ensure that no other Jamaican citizen have to spend 13 years in custody. And after 13 years, there's nothing that nobody can do to give back Kartel, to give back Sean Storm, or to give back any of the appellants the missing 13 years out of their lives. Some of them would have had their family members die, unable to go to funeral. And ultimately what we have to do better by them. We also have to do better by victims of crime who themselves today may be looking at this thing and saying this is not justice. And one hope that this will be a lesson, a teachable moment for our country as we move forward to ensure that we achieve the ideals of our anthem, justice for all.
So the legal team remain the same, Mr. Shavira. Will the legal team remain if it is that these persons, the appellants, plan to go forward for damages, or let's say if they want to get something?
Certainly that's not a question that we're in a position to answer. The clients are the ones who decide how their representation is composed. So I think that question is best reserved. As you know, the men are free, so I guess in due time they'll be able to answer this.
No, so one thing I want to say, I need to say this, is that the media has a responsibility, especially, I know you guys are state media, official media, but certainly the other forms of media have a responsibility not to assassinate characters and not to put out false information. If you listen to the judge in terms of how they lay out the facts and the significance of they had nothing to do with the jury tampering, there is no evidence of anything in relation to tampering of evidence. These things are important, and I can now say clearly that the men are innocent, and anybody wants to challenge that, that's just on them. They can believe what they want, but those things are important.
So they're innocent under the Constitution.
They're under the Constitution. If we respect the Constitution, that is what matters, and that is the conversation that we ought to have, because there's a lot of change that needs to become, including the starting of an innocence project, because the idea that persons can gamble with the Constitution and the freedom of people, the liberty of people, is something that we ought to be very afraid of in terms of the modern narrative and media, and that will be addressed in due time. Thank you.
Kartel's family?
We are. You guys take over the whole conversation. We need time to do that. We need to do that now. Health-wise, we need to do that expeditiously, and that is what we'd like to do. So I want to thank you guys for entertaining us.
That was Sport Feed there now. Don't know the report, then we see them, we like them, we put them up, fun like them. If you're more than liking and subscribe, give you a subscribe. Hit the notification bell too, if you don't miss an update. This is Real Yutes TV, we're out.